All right, so picture this. You're stepping onto this massive cruise ship, ready for like a week of pure relaxation and fun. But have you ever like stopped to think about all the people working behind the scenes to make that happen?
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's like a whole hidden world.
it really is. And that's actually what we're diving into today, the surprisingly complex world of cruise ship jobs. We've got a great source here. It's a breakdown of all the different types of jobs you can find on board.
Mhm.
So get ready to kind of peek behind the curtain and uncover the secrets of what it takes to make a cruise ship tick.
Yeah, what's fascinating to me is that a cruise ship isn't just a vacation destination. It's like a self-contained city at sea. And that means it needs every job you would find in a regular city, just like miniaturized and floating.
Exactly. And just like any city, there's a hierarchy. And this source breaks it down into two main categories: crew and staff.
Okay.
Crew keeps the ship running, while staff focuses on the guests. But even this seemingly simple division hints at the complexity we're about to uncover.
Right. And you know what always gets me? The deck and engineering department, they're like the wizards behind the curtain, keeping this massive vessel afloat and moving. Most passengers probably don't even realize the level of expertise involved.
Yeah, it's true. You're so busy enjoying the pool and forgetting about the real world. But without these folks, there wouldn't be a pool to enjoy this. Source lists roles like able seaman, bosun, chief engineer. These aren't just names on a list. They're vital to the entire operation. What exactly does an able seaman do, for example?
Well, they are responsible for a whole range of tasks on deck, from handling mooring lines and cargo to maintaining safety equipment and assisting with navigation. It's a demanding job that requires physical strength, seamanship skills, and a cool head in emergencies.
Okay, so not just anyone can waltz onto a cruise ship and become an able seaman. It sounds like a serious career path.
Absolutely. You need certifications, experience, and often specialized training. It's a field that attracts people with a sense of adventure and a love for the sea.
So for any listeners out there who are fascinated by the maritime world, maybe this is something to consider. There are actually internships and apprenticeships that can lead to these roles, right?
Exactly. There are maritime academies and training programs that provide the necessary skills and qualifications. And for those who are already at sea, there are clear career progression paths within the deck. An engineering department, you could start as a deckhand and work your way up to becoming a bosun or even a chief officer.
No, it's like a whole hidden world with its own ranks and career paths. But let's shift gears now and talk about the staff, specifically those working in guest service operations. This is where things get a little more familiar, right? These are the people we interact with directly, the ones who shape our experience as passengers.
Absolutely. And this is where you see the cruise industry's dedication to creating a complete and immersive experience. It's not just about getting you from point A to point B. It's about orchestrating an entire world of entertainment, service, and comfort.
And this source breaks it down into three main areas: activity and shipboard entertainment service, and hospitality, and personal care, and medical care. It's amazing how much variety is packed into those categories.
It really is. I mean, think about it. You've got everything from diving instructors to dance instructors, trivia hosts to musicians, even jugglers.
Wow.
It's like a floating city of talent.
It makes you wonder, how do they even find all these people? Do they have a global scouting network for cruise ship entertainers?
I wouldn't be surprised, but seriously, it speaks to the sheer scale of the industry. And let's not forget the person at the heart of it all, the cruise director.
Ah, yes, the cruise director.
Yeah.
I always imagine that job is like a whirlwind of fun and excitement.
It definitely has its perks, but it's also a demanding role. They're responsible for overseeing all the entertainment and activities, ensuring smooth transitions, and adapting to the ever-changing needs of thousands of passengers. It takes a special kind of personality to handle that kind of pressure and still keep the energy high.
So it's not all poolside cocktails and conga lines. Then there's some serious management and organizational skills involved too.
Absolutely. They're essentially running a 24/7 entertainment empire, making sure everyone is having a good time and that everything runs smoothly. It's a high-pressure role that requires a unique blend of creativity, leadership, and people skills.
Wow, it's making me see those enthusiastic announcements and cheesy jokes in a whole new light.
Yeah.
There's a lot more going on behind the scenes than I realized. But speaking of unsung heroes, we can't forget about the folks in service and hospitality.
Oh, absolutely. They're the backbone of the operation, really. Every meal you enjoy, every clean cabin you return to, every drink served with a smile, it's all thanks to the dedication of these individuals.
Yeah, and it's so easy to take those things for granted when you're in vacation mode, but someone is making it all happen. And it's not just the visible roles like waiters and cabin stewards. This source mentions a position I hadn't even considered before, the purser.
Yes, the purser. They're essentially the ship's financial manager and guest services director, like a hotel manager at sea. They handle everything from passenger accounts and onboard purchases to resolving guest issues and overseeing the smooth running of various departments. It's a crucial role that most people don't even realize exists.
It's like a mini city, isn't it? You need someone to
Yeah.
manage the money, handle customer service, and keep everything running smoothly. And speaking of a mini city, this source also mentions personal care and medical. So we've got masseuses, hairstylists, doctors, nurses. It's a whole world of wellness and healthcare right there on the ship.
It really highlights how a cruise ship is equipped to handle a wide range of needs from pampering to emergencies, and it also speaks to the evolving expectations of cruise passengers. They're looking for more than just basic amenities. They want a holistic experience that caters to their well-being in every aspect.
So we've got the crew keeping the ship afloat and running, and the staff focused on creating a seamless and enjoyable experience for the guests. But even within those broad categories, this source breaks it down even further into a surprisingly long list of specific departments.
The sheer number of departments is a testament to the scale and complexity of the operation. You've got housekeeping galley, restaurant beverages provisions, and that's just scratching the surface.
And what's really interesting is that some of these departments wouldn't immediately spring to mind when you think of cruise ship jobs,
Yeah.
IT jobs, casino jobs. Working in a floating casino, that has to come with some unique challenges, right?
You're telling me imagine trying to troubleshoot a server issue in the middle of the ocean or dealing with a guest who's had a bit too much fun at the blackjack table. It's a whole different world from your typical land-based casino job.
Yeah, it really is. And speaking of unique challenges, what about IT jobs? Keeping all the technology running on a ship with limited access to resources that must be quite demanding.
Absolutely. It's not like you can just pop down to the local computer store if something breaks down. You need to be resourceful, adaptable, and able to think on your feet.
So it seems that even those seemingly ordinary jobs take on a whole new dimension when you add the element of being at sea.
Precisely. And that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating. It's not just about the jobs themselves. It's about understanding the context, the challenges, and the unique environment in which they exist.
All right, so we've gone from a simple concept, jobs on a cruise ship, to surprisingly intricate network of departments and specialized roles.
And remember, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Each of these departments has even more specialized roles within them.
So before we move on, what stands out to you the most so far? What's piqued your curiosity?
For me, it's the behind-the-scenes roles that keep the whole operation running smoothly. The folks in the engine room, the IT department, the pursers. They're the unsung heroes who make the magic happen.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's fascinating to think about the level of coordination and expertise required to keep a cruise ship running safely and efficiently.
And it makes you appreciate the complexity of this industry. It's not just about leisure and entertainment. It's a marvel of engineering, logistics, and human ingenuity.
Yeah, it really is mind-boggling when you think about it. You've got this giant floating city with all of its intricate systems and departments all working together to create this seamless experience for the passengers.
And it's not just about keeping things running smoothly. It's about constantly evolving and adapting to meet the changing demands of the industry. Cruise lines are always looking for ways to enhance the guest experience, which means new jobs are emerging all the time.
Oh, that's interesting. Like what kind of new jobs?
Well, for example, with the rise of social media, some cruise lines are hiring dedicated social media managers.
Okay.
To curate the online experience for their guests, they're responsible for capturing and sharing the highlights of the cruise, interacting with passengers online, and even managing influencer partnerships.
So now you can add cruise ship influencer to your list of dream jobs.
Exactly, and as technology continues to advance, we're likely to see even more tech-focused roles emerging in the cruise industry. Think about virtual reality experiences, personalized entertainment systems, even AI-powered concierge services.
It sounds like the future of cruising is going to be even more high-tech and personalized. But, let's not forget about the human element. All these amazing experiences are still ultimately delivered by people. And I'm curious, what is it actually like to work on a cruise ship?
That's a great question. It's definitely a unique work environment. You're living and working in close quarters with people from all over the world. Often for months at a time, it can be challenging, but also incredibly rewarding.
Yeah, I can imagine you're essentially creating a temporary community at sea.
Exactly. And that sense of community is a big part of what draws people to work on cruise ships. You form close bonds with your colleagues, you experience different cultures, and you get to travel to amazing destinations.
Yeah, it sounds like a real adventure, but it can't be all fun and games.
Yeah.
Right? What are some of the downsides of working on a cruise ship?
Well, the long hours and demanding work schedules can be tough. You're often working 7 days a week, and there's not a lot of downtime. And of course, being away from family and friends for extended periods can be challenging.
Yeah, I could see how that would take a toll. It sounds like you need a certain type of personality to thrive in that environment.
You do. You need to be adaptable, resilient, and able to handle being away from home for long stretches. But for the right person, it can be an incredibly enriching experience.
And I guess you have to be okay with sharing a very small space with a lot of people.
That's definitely true. Cabin space is limited, so you have to be comfortable with close quarters. But on the flip side, you have access to incredible amenities and facilities right on board, like swimming pools, gyms, restaurants, and even theaters.
So it's like a trade-off. You might sacrifice some personal space,
Yeah.
but you gain a whole world of entertainment and convenience.
Exactly. And let's not forget about the amazing travel opportunities you get to see the world, experience different cultures, and create memories that will last a lifetime.
Speaking of seeing the world, does working on a cruise ship actually allow you to explore the ports that you visit?
It depends on your role and your schedule, but often crew members do have the opportunity to go ashore and explore during their downtime. They might not have as much time as the passengers, but they still get to experience the highlights of each destination.
That's great to hear. It wouldn't be much fun to work on a cruise ship if you never got to see anything beyond the deck.
Right, and for many crew members, those shore excursions are a major perk of the job. It's a chance to experience new cultures, try different foods, and create lasting memories.
So we've talked about the variety of jobs, the challenges and rewards of working on a cruise ship, but what about the industry itself? What are some of the trends shaping the future of cruising?
Well, one major trend is the increasing demand for sustainable and eco-friendly cruising. Passengers are becoming more aware of the environmental impact of travel, and cruise lines are responding by implementing more sustainable practices from reducing emissions to using alternative fuels.
That's encouraging to hear. It's great that the industry is taking steps to minimize its impact on the environment.
Absolutely. And another trend is the rise of expedition. Cruising people are looking for more adventurous and immersive experiences. So cruise lines are offering itineraries to more remote and exotic destinations like Antarctica, the Galapagos Islands, and even the Arctic.
Hmm. That sounds incredible. It's like taking adventure travel to a whole new level.
It really is, and it's not just about the destinations, it's about the experience. Exhibition cruises often feature smaller ships, more personalized service, and a focus on education and exploration.
It seems like the cruise industry is constantly evolving and innovating to meet the changing demands of travelers. It's more than just a vacation. It's a reflection of our changing world and our desire to explore, connect, and experience new things.
And that's what makes it so fascinating to study. It's a microcosm of society reflecting our values, our aspirations, and our desire to push the boundaries of what's possible.
All right, so we've gone from unpacking the specific roles and departments on a cruise ship to exploring the broader trends shaping the industry. What stands out to you the most from all this information?
You know what really strikes me is the sheer scale and complexity of this operation. It takes thousands of people working in hundreds of different roles to make a cruise ship run smoothly.
It's like a perfectly choreographed ballet, with every dancer playing a crucial role in the overall performance.
Exactly. And just like a ballet, there's a lot of hard work and dedication behind the scenes that the audience never sees.
And that's what we've been trying to illuminate in this deep dive, the hidden world of cruise ship jobs.
And hopefully it's given you a new appreciation for the people who make those unforgettable cruise vacations possible.
Absolutely. Next time I step onto a cruise ship, I'll be looking at it with a whole new perspective. But before we wrap up, I'm curious, if you could choose any job on a cruise ship, what would it be?
Hmm, that's a tough one. There's so many interesting roles to choose from, but if I had to pick, I think I'd go with something in the entertainment department, maybe a musician or a comedian.
Oh, that sounds fun. I think I'd be tempted by the adventure of working on deck, maybe as an able seaman or even a navigation officer.
Now, that would be a real change of pace from podcasting.
It would indeed. But speaking of podcasting, we're just about out of time for this deep dive.
And it's been a fascinating journey uncovering the hidden world of cruise ship jobs.
We've learned about the vital roles of the crew, the diverse talents of the staff, the challenges and rewards of working at sea, and the evolving trends shaping the future of cruising.
Hopefully, it sparked some curiosity and inspired you to learn even more about this fascinating industry.
So before we say goodbye, what's one key takeaway you hope our listeners will remember from this deep dive?
I hope they'll remember that behind every amazing cruise vacation, there's an army of dedicated individuals working tirelessly to make it all happen.
Well said. Next time you're enjoying a delicious meal, a stunning show or a relaxing spa treatment on a cruise ship, take a moment to appreciate the people who made it possible. They're the unsung heroes who keep the magic of cruising alive.
And perhaps it might even inspire some of you to consider a career at sea. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next cruise director entertaining thousands of passengers with your infectious enthusiasm.
Or maybe you'll be the one keeping the ship running smoothly from the engine room, or creating culinary masterpieces in the galley. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, it really is amazing to think that something as seemingly simple as just like a vacation can involve so much complexity and coordination.
Right, it's a testament to human ingenuity and our drive to create these extraordinary experiences.
You know, before this deep dive, I kind of had a pretty superficial view of cruise ship jobs. I pictured mostly waiters and entertainers, but now I see it as like a whole ecosystem of specialized roles. Yeah, and each role is essential to the overall success of the operation, from the captain navigating the ship to the cabin steward, ensuring your room is spotless. Everyone contributes to creating that seamless and enjoyable experience for the passengers.
And it's not just about the jobs themselves, right? It's about the people who fill those roles, the individuals who bring their own unique skills and personalities and experiences to this floating world.
Exactly. And that's what makes the cruise industry so fascinating. It's a melting pot of cultures and backgrounds and ambitions all coming together to create a truly unique and dynamic work environment.
It really makes you wonder about the stories they could tell,
Oh, yeah.
the challenges they've overcome, the friendships they've formed, the adventures they've had while sailing the seas.
I know. Imagine the conversations you'd overhear in the crew mess hall.
Yeah.
Tales of storms, weathered ports visited, and memorable encounters with passengers from all walks of life.
It's like a whole hidden world full of intrigue and human connection.
And it's a world that's constantly evolving as the cruise industry adapts to changing trends and technologies. New roles are emerging, and the demand for skilled and passionate individuals is only growing.
So for anyone listening who's feeling adventurous or looking for a career change, maybe the cruise industry is worth exploring.
It's certainly an option worth considering. It's not for everyone, of course, but for those who thrive in dynamic environments, enjoy working with diverse teams, and have a thirst for travel and adventure, it can be an incredibly rewarding path.
And who knows, maybe you'll discover a hidden talent or a passion you never knew you had.
Yeah, exactly. You might start out as a bartender and end up as a cruise director, or begin as a deckhand and work your way up to captain. The possibilities are endless.
This deep dive has definitely opened my eyes to the vast and intricate world of cruise ship jobs. It's more than just a vacation. It's a microcosm of human endeavor, a floating testament to our ingenuity and our desire to create extraordinary experiences.
And it's a reminder that there's always more to discover, both in the world around us and in the depths of our own curiosity.
So keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep. You never know what fascinating worlds await you just beneath the surface.
And until next time, happy sailing.